Barracuda, welding up some holes on the floor. We've already begun stripping the undercoating and all of the scaly rust off the bottom of the car in preparation for final sandblasting and epoxy prime. This car has been a lot of work from the very beginning. So right now, like I said, we're basically just trying to weld up all these holes to reverse the hillbilly hackery that was with the shag carpeting and sheet metal screws. Over 160 screw holes that had to be filled in this car, most of them by the previous owner, whom I'm building this car for. I am just touching up some of the holes and the remainder of patches that needed to be done, mainly in the driver's side footwell area, and finishing up some of the welds on our subframe connectors and front clip, which we had salvaged from another A-body. So as you can see, the front clip of this car has been completely removed and replaced with a donor clip from another car, in this case a 1971 Dodge Dart slant 6. All welds have been finished, other than some cleanup and some final stitch welding along the frame rails just to give it some extra strength and support. Next up, we'll end up finishing the seam welds along the bottom, the floor pan of the car for the subframe connectors. Continue welding the holes in the floor and come back and take care of some minor frame damage. This car was also in a rear driver's side collision, which resulted in the replacement of this quarter panel early in its life, as well as some shoddy repair work down here in the trunk area. Quarter skins as well as driver's side rear trunk drop off has been replaced. We've stripped 90% of the undercoating, and this is pretty much all that remains of that crap. Once we've finished removing all the undercoating and finished all of our welds and finish ground them, we will move on to building some rolling body stands or dollies in order to bolt to the bottom of this car so we can roll it up onto a trailer and transport it to the sandblasters. They will tie in to the lower torque box areas in the rear, and then up on the front we'll tie them in to the bumper bracket locations. These are the easiest places to tie into them. Helps to balance the car up pretty well. You see, we've already installed the inner fender supports as well as the entire front radiator core support. This car will also be getting top torque box reinforcements at a later date after the sandblasting, once everything has been painted in epoxy primer, or epoxy sealer rather. From there we'll seam seal everything and coat it with Raptor undercoating. This thing will never rust again. Not to mention it'll help make it quieter when cruising down the road. Alright, so 99% of all the undercoating has been stripped, other than that little section right there. Unfortunately, I ran out of butane. So I'll have to get some more and then finish that up right there. Everything else has been ground out, cleaned, and ready to go to the sandblaster. Also, all the welds, as I said earlier, have been completed, aside from a few minor pinholes that need to be filled, and a few other minor holes that I just noticed need to be taken care of, such as aside from those, this car is ready to go to the sandblaster and to move on to the next stage of restoration, which is sealing with epoxy primer and moving on to body work inside the engine compartment, mainly the battery tray location. I'll take care of that once the car is back on jack stands. Also, next up, I will be, in the next video, rather, I will be working on the plates that will bolt into the leaf spring locations here for my car dollies that I am building, and also in the front bumper bracket location as well. Once I have fabricated those, the car will be ready to go to the sandblaster. It's a lot easier to transport it that way than trying to put the rotisserie and car assembly on a trailer, or putting the rolling stock back on the car, taking it off the rotisserie, get it down there, take the rolling stock off, put it on the rotisserie, so on and so forth. Just makes more sense to build the dollies, roll it up on a trailer, blast it, be done. Before the car goes to the blaster, also the next project will be to take the hood and drill the spot welds along the perimeter of the hood and separate the outer skin from the inner structure. As you can hear, there's quite a bit of crud falling out of this. The plan is to separate them, take them both to the media blaster, have them blast it, and then seal them in epoxy sealer, and then reassemble them as if they were stock, factory, never been tampered with. From there, we'll move on and just kind of start doing the body work, jamming the car out, getting it sealed up with seam sealer and all the little nooks and crannies and crevices here. And then just kind of keep attacking it from there. Also welding in the torque boxes once the car has been sandblasted. What do you think?
It's really good, Dad.
Yeah. Well, what do you think of the progress? Has it been a lot of work?
Yeah.
Yeah? How much?
I don't know.
You don't know? Yeah, you've only been here for a short bit of it. It's been quite a bit of work. We've had this car, or I've had this car for about a year in my possession, just slowly chipping away at various tasks, you know, doing the lower quarter panel patch, and then I can't rotate it, it's locked right now, but doing the quarter patch on this side and doing the lower quarter patch on the passenger side, up and over the wheel arch, various repairs and patches that need to be done, as well as cutting off the entire front end and welding in the donor front end. This car has been a lot of work, but it's nice to see it finally making some serious progress and a few big steps toward completion. What do you think?
You did a great job.
Thanks. You think Pa's gonna like it?
Yeah.
Good. Why don't we show them your hot rod? Let's go see your car. Tell us a little bit about it, Wes. What is it?
A Camaro.
What year? You don't remember? It's a 1968 Camaro. What are your plans?
My plans.
You gotta look at the camera and talk. I can't hear you.
My plans.
What color are you gonna paint it?
Yellow and black.
Yellow and black? So kind of like a Transformer then, huh?
Yeah.
Like Bumblebee? Nice. Yeah. This one's gonna need quite a bit of work. Not nearly as much as your brother's Firebird though, huh?
Yeah, not that much.
Yeah, this thing is... Really, this car is probably not worth saving to most, but...
Next only Firebird.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's pretty far gone, but your brother loves it, huh? All right.
Don't worry, my dad can fix it.
I know, that's right. That's what we do here. We fix old rusty cars that otherwise would be squished, right?
Yeah, but we don't want this car squished.
No, we don't want it squished.
Yeah, it's the last of its. Well, not the last.
Not the last, but it is an old car and they're getting harder to find, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Took us a while to find these ones, huh?
Yeah, it did.
Well, let's go ahead and go home. What do you say? We put in a long day's work.
Yeah.
We've been here since the crack of dawn, huh?
Yeah.
All right. What do you say to the guys out there on YouTube?
Hi.
No. Please like and subscribe, right?
Please like and subscribe.
Let's get a thumbs up, too.
Get a thumbs up too.
All right. Let's go. Say bye.
Bye.
See you later, everybody.